Welcome to the Sus podcast. You know what, Steve? Cue the music. Welcome back to Sus. We were once named Share Your Scare, but now refer to us as See You Soon. A wise man once said, all things must come to an end. Today's that end for us, but this end won't last forever. We will be back, and we will be stronger. But for now, we must take a break. Cut the music, Steve. Listen, guys, we really do appreciate you guys coming in, listening to the podcast each and every week, but our lives have gotten so busy, and I'm sure a lot of your guys' lives has gotten so busy as well, that we have to take a break right now. We're doing a ton of renovations at home right now. We're building our own studio.
Yes.
We need to focus on doing one project at a time. We have so many different things, and we're not fully giving our full attention to everything because we have so much different stuff going around.
And we've learned so much throughout this whole thing that we want to make things so much better.
Exactly. We want to come back with a boom. So what we need to do is we need to take a little break. And I know it's going to crush some of your guys' heart. And we really want to say thank you because you guys have always come back. You've always listened to the podcast. You guys have left 3,000 reviews on our podcast page on iTunes, which is absolutely insane. So thank you from the bottom of our hearts. And just know when we come back, things are going to be even crazier, even better. We're going to take this to the moon, okay? So with that being said, welcome back to the Sus podcast for the last time.
For now.
Here we are. I'm your host, Brendan Taylor. This is the co-host,
Jake Taylor. What's up?
and we are the
Taylor Bros.
Listen, guys, we're excited to be here today, and I kind of wanted to jump into a new segment on this last episode. It's kind of
starting things new on the last episode.
We're finally getting things right on the last episode. But with that being said, this is called Two Dumb Dudes Do the News. And the first thing I want to talk about is this coronavirus vaccine.
Yeah, there's a lot of conspiracies around it. There's a lot of like weird people saying weird stuff about it.
Honestly, in the beginning, I was super nervous about getting this vaccine in the first place. Like, I haven't got it, but I'm nervous too because everyone was like, they're going to control your mind. The government is going to control you. But at this point, honestly, let them. Like, hopefully they could do a better job than I've been doing.
I got the COVID vaccine. I didn't even tell you, but I just gave up on life. I said, I can't do a very good job. Let someone else do it.
Well, look, we don't have our opinions. I don't want to put our opinions out there, how we feel about the vaccine. Jake's already got it. I'm waiting on it because I kind of wanted to see what was going to happen first. You know what I mean? We got to have a test dummy out there to see what's going to happen. So I'm just, the only thing I'm a little bit fearful about is just because it's so new and it's just like, everyone get this. And I'm just kind of like, why? You know what I mean? But I probably will conform and get it because they're not going to let anyone travel.
Oh, I feel like it'll get to that point where they're going to be like, oh, you want to go to the market to get groceries? Show me your vaccination.
Exactly. If you want to come in or if you want to travel, you're going to have to show it. So I feel like at one point or another, we're all going to have to get it.
Yeah, and I miss traveling. That's kind of why I just said, screw it.
Yeah, and hey, if it actually is like keeping you away from the virus, then I think it is a good idea. So I guess we're gonna have to just kind of keep following along. But you know, it is a big thing. It's been trending on Twitter for a couple of days now about the vaccine passport. And I mean, it is kind of crazy because some of the people are saying that we are gonna be turning into like communist China in a way.
I could see it.
I mean, I'm scared. I don't want to see it. I don't even know how to see it. I don't even know what it would be like, you know?
Yeah.
All I can picture is just like having to like basically put out all of our private information for everyone to see, which, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah. Okay, but on some lighter news, you have some new information.
I do, guys. We have some big news in the world right now. I don't know if anyone has ever heard of this because I didn't before I saw this article on the LA Times, but the California condor, it's like a 9-foot bird that went extinct 100 years ago, is finally being reintroduced into the redwood forest area, which is absolutely insane.
I don't think extinct is the right word because if it went extinct, how is it back?
Well, they had a couple of them, I guess, like in storage, and they just brought them out. I don't know. I think they were raising them in captivity, honestly.
So they never fully went extinct.
Yeah, they were close to. They were close. There was a couple left, but there's now finally enough that they're reintroducing them into the world, which is amazing news. Let's clap for the California condor, everyone. It's a 9-foot bird. Like,
that's crazy.
What are you even doing if you see a 9-foot bird?
I'm running.
And these birds are like, they're like vultures in a way. They eat like dead animals and stuff. So what would they do to you if they found you just in the redwood forest?
They'd eat me.
Exactly. So, good news for the birds, bad news for sus. It's over. Anyways, no, in lighter news, though, we did want to talk about, some of our scares for once, because we're always on here introducing other people and hearing their scares. So I figured, you know what? Why not jump into some of our scares?
Yeah, for sure.
And the one scare that I can think of that's popping off on my head right now is the scare that we had in Thailand.
Oh.
Okay, so nothing scarier than scary stuff in other countries because you don't speak their language. 1, 2, you can't really trust anyone because you're never going to see these people again. But let's get into this story. So we are in like a flea market type area. It's like all these little street vendors going on. It's late at night, but the nightlife in Bangkok is lit. If you've never been, super fun place to go. So I hope this won't deter you. But we were out there, we're having a good time, and these guys keep walking by and they're like, ping pong show. And I'm like, what the hell is a ping pong show? Like, I like ping pong.
Yeah,
so
that's cool.
Why not go see a show, right? They're like, it's completely free. Come upstairs. And I saw other people going up there. So I didn't think it was going to be like anything serious.
No.
And so we go up to this place. They start giving us like drinks. We didn't want any alcoholic drinks because we didn't know. It was
We didn't even know what the vibe was.
Right.
We just like walking in this room, kind of smelled bad. And
oh my God, it smells so bad. Okay, so we go up to these, let me get into that. We go up to these stairs, we go into this room, and then there's it honestly looked like a strip club.
Yeah.
Like there was stripper poles going on, there was a bar, and then it was really dark, and it just smelled like gross. Like imagine a strip club, everyone naked and stuff, and no cleaning is happening.
Yeah,
in this
like
place.
a strip club that was based in a fish market.
Oh my God, man. It was in the fish district now that I think about it. But anyways, they start handing us drinks. They're not alcoholic drinks, they're just sodas, right?
Yeah, and we're like, no. And then they're still leaving them on like our little table that we were sitting at. They just kept leaving them. No,
we don't want it. And one of the things is that before we went on this Bangkok trip, I looked up like what are some of the scams that they're doing in Thailand because I need to make sure I'm protected in case I see something happening. And one of them is when you're in a club, the girls will come over with their own drink, place it on the table, and you will get charged for that drink.
Yeah.
They're gonna say that's under your tab, and you're gonna get charged for it. Doesn't matter. They won't even drink it. Most of the time, it's like just water with food coloring in it, and they put it on your table, and you're gonna end up spending big bucks.
Yeah.
So we're sitting at this table. I start seeing girls coming over, and they're putting drinks on the table, and I'm already like, oh, guys, this is a scam. I'm like warning everyone.
Yeah. Before even that, we got to realize that it wasn't a ping pong show.
Oh yeah, we're getting to that right now. So
they weren't playing ping pong.
They were playing ping pong, but necessarily not the right way to play ping pong.
Yeah.
Okay.
Never seen before.
I'm gonna try to explain this in the most respectful way I can, and I hope this won't get me in trouble. But basically, they were putting ping pongs in their ding dongs, and they were shooting them out. Yes, like full on, like they were stuffing them inside of their hoo-has and popping them out. It was the craziest thing I ever seen. I didn't even want to look, but it was so interesting that I couldn't take my eyes off of it.
Yeah, yeah.
It was. This was all happening, and one girl was even smoking a cigarette out of her.
Yeah, Thailand's lit.
Lit. I mean, it's something, that's for sure.
Yeah. But anyways,
back to the story.
We just some context of what was going on.
You have to understand what we were seeing when we were in here. Anyways, girls were dropping their
It was one of those things that like we walked in there, we said, "Oh, what did we get into?" And then it was like a 5-minute thing of being like, "Okay, let's get out." It's not like we were like, "Wow, let's sit and enjoy this."
We were in there for less than probably 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And anyways,
all hell broke loose
for sure. We start being like, all right, we have to get out of here. Once everyone heard my warnings about how this is a scam and we're being set up, we're like, we have to get out of here. Keep in mind, when we first came in here, they said this place is completely free. You won't have to buy anything. We're like, okay, cool. Even drinks free? Like, yes, your first drink is free on us, which it wasn't. They lied. And you can't call them a liar because it's you versus them. And if you're stuck in their building, what are you gonna do? So we're in here, we're leaving. The big honcho lady comes up and she's like, "No, you're not going anywhere." And we're all like, what do you mean? Like, we're gonna start going. We start walking towards the exits. Some random people that we didn't even see in this building are now coming out and standing in front of the doors.
Yeah, and we're with like 6 dudes. Like
we're the only, I think, like not American, but like only people that aren't from Thailand there. Like there was other people and they're chilling, they're having a great time.
It all seemed like it was a setup. Like they just had fake people sitting in there, but they actually all worked for the place.
Right. It was like a movie set. It felt like 'cause people started coming out of everywhere and started blocking the doors. Like we're at this point where we're like, we are in a place where no one is gonna hear us scream. If we die, like these people know a way to chop us up and hide us because we were starting to fear for our lives here. Then they're starting to like, you have to give us this money. You have to give us this money.
And at that point, like in my head, what was going through my head was like, I didn't reach for anything. Like, I kind of just, like, stayed there, and I was just, like, being calm. My only worry was, like, my brother at the end of the day. So, like, our buddy Billy, you guys must know Billy.
Yeah, you know Billy if you know our videos.
Billy reached for his wallet, and that was, like, the no-go. Because for that moment Billy reached for his wallet, they all gave up on everyone else and went to him.
And they started surrounding him. And it was just
grabbing him, trying to grab money.
They were trying to grab money from his wallet before he even opened the thing.
Yeah.
And they were like, you owe us like 4,000 dong. I think it was called dong. Bot. Like 40,000 baht, which was only like $100 or $200 American.
We didn't realize that at the moment.
At the moment, it seemed like a lot of money because they were just asking for like all of this money. And we're like, this is crazy. I'm like, here, I'll give you like, because I had some money. I was like, here, I have 10,000 baht. Let us go. You know what I mean? It was like, we were trying to get a fourth off, and they were like, no, we don't want that. We want it all. And we're like, holy crap, we don't have the money. Like, we came here, you guys said it was free, and we don't have the money. Like, and there's more of them. They're surrounding us. Even like the quote unquote strippers that were shooting the pong balls out of their hoo-has were starting to surround us. And like, it was starting to get like a heated scene, and I just started like really starting to freak out.
Yeah, I was looking for exits.
We were trying to find exits. There's literally, and this is the most shady place. It was one way. Like, I'm sure there probably was another exit. We just didn't see it at all, but it was literally like a one way in, one way out type of thing. At the end of the day, what's his name? Billy starts going, you know what? Let's just pay it and let's get out of here, because at this point we might not even make it.
Yeah.
And so we ended up giving them a little bit less, but it was literally all the money that we had, and they let us go. So we were at it, and as soon as we got out, we just started running, because it was such like a scary moment where it's like, we don't know if we're gonna make it out of this point right here. Like, we are stuck. So as soon as we paid that, I think we paid like 25,000 dong instead of the 40.
Yeah, which was like maybe like $50 bucks.
It was like
$100.
it was like $75 or something. It wasn't a big deal, but it was just the fact that we couldn't even understand these people when they're yelling. And then they were like, we're going to call the police. And then we were like, we're going to call the police. And then when we started saying we were going to call the police is when they started backing down a little bit, because they were obviously doing some shady stuff there. And they ended up taking our 25,000. But listen, if you are ever in Thailand, ping pong show is not a normal ping pong show.
Yeah.
Just hear this warning. You probably, I mean, you might want to see it, but it's not worth it. Trust me. And that was honestly probably one of my biggest scares.
Yeah, I feel like every single time we go traveling, like there's so many scams out there. You know what I mean? And remember the scam in where were we? Italy,
about the driver?
No, what driver?
Oh my God. Okay, so listen to this, guys. We were in Italy one time, and they do this other scam there where they lay out these prints of art.
We're in like the main, like where the
main city, like downtown
like
district,
cathedrals
almost.
And all the tourist traps that you walk around and you enjoy all the beautiful things out there. And they do this scam where the artists put the paintings on the ground.
But these are not even like real art. Like, they're almost like printed art.
Yeah. They put them on the ground in hopes that someone steps on them, and then they come after you and say you owe us 250 euros for this painting because you ruined my art.
It.
So
Jake, being
who stepped on the painting?
Completely oblivious ass dude that Jake is. What does he do? He like walks on like all 5 of the paintings in a row, like just like it's a walkway or something. Steps on them all. We have all these Italian like Guido type dudes. Like, they weren't even like normal Italians. They're like Guidos. I don't even know if that's the right term for them, but I'm just picturing like the New Jersey type guys come up. They all pile around and they're like, hey, you messed up my thing, fool. You messed it up. Blah blah blah. And like, they were kind of like, I don't know. They were a little harsh about it. Like, they were like, you owe us. This is an expensive painting. Blah blah blah. We ended up what did we do? We just did.
We just like someone else came. I think someone felt bad. Another of the workers or something like that, and let us go.
Oh.
But there was one guy that was pushing me.
One guy was going real hard. Jake almost fought him in the street.
And I was like, "What's up?"
I'm like, dude, like, calm down. Like, it's like, you know, it's not as big of a deal to Jake, because Jake really wanted to fight this guy. And it's just a clear warning that when you go to different countries, when this world opens back up, like, be careful. Like, there's a lot of people doing a lot of shady stuff to try to get by. And you've probably seen it firsthand during this coronavirus, all the crimes that have been going on and all the robberies. Like, it's honestly, like, we live in a time where we can't even wear nice things out because people are going to try to target you and attack you. So I let that be a warning.
And speaking on that, I just feel like we have learned so much in the last like year. You know what I mean? Like, even on this podcast, we've learned so much stuff from other people. I mean, I snap. I get angry so fast. And like me traveling, I've learned a lot just to calm down and just like be observant and just slow down. And
I think that's a big lesson for everything in a way. Like slow down. Like if we even think about like Brittany Louise Taylor when she came on, she talks about how she like met this guy on Bumble, fell in love real quick, got married real quick. Turns out the guy wasn't the guy that she was thinking she was in love with. So it's like almost this whole world in a way during this coronavirus has been teaching us to just slow down. Because I feel like if maybe, I'm not going to speak for her, but if, maybe she slowed down and maybe went on more dates before she got married, maybe she would have realized that this guy is a complete fraud.
She might have seen more red flags.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And if you and Corey weren't racing around in Hawaii on jet skis, you might have not jumped a wave and landed on top of him.
And almost killed him. Yeah, exactly. There's so many things to take from this and learn from. And it's just cool being able to see that everybody has something that they're afraid of. Yeah. Everyone has a scare. And that's kind of the reason why we shaped this podcast in the way that we did from the beginning was we felt, everyone comes on and tells their life story. Everyone on different podcasts and everyone comes on and tells their happiest moments. And who said it best was Michael Irvin. When we had him on, he was like, I really love the idea of the podcast because everybody does have a scare. Everyone needs to come out and be open with their scare so they can get through it and they can conquer that fear.
Yeah, I agree. One of my fears initially coming into this was like not being able to speak, and half the time I don't, but we cut it,
we make it look like you can speak.
I'm getting better at it.
Exactly. So there's a lot to learn, and I think that I love the most about this was being able to have a conversation with a person, like having a real connection with another human soul, and being able to talk. Like when we had Caroline on, she was the psychic medium. She really opened my eyes to a lot of things, and just being able to really just kind of experience life and know that we're here for a time being, and we have to make the best out of that time before there's eternal happiness. You know what I mean? Like that's what she kind of said was going to happen next, and I hope it is because that's what I'm looking forward to. But it really does say take life slow, enjoy the little things, enjoy the moment of just being alive, be in the present moment, and it really kind of just was a cool experience, you know?
Definitely. I think it was also cool, like, having on some people that you would see on social media for so many years and then, like, never meet them. Like,
Brittany Ferlin.
Like, Brittany Ferlin, for instance. I've seen her since I was 16 on social media, you know what I mean? And then, like, sitting in front with her and just, like, talking a normal conversation.
Right.
It's just awesome. And hearing someone else's story. That's the main thing, is just hearing someone's, like, what they had to deal with and everything like that.
Because I also feel like having this podcast and this platform was awesome because, like, for example, having Brittany is like, if you ran into her in the street, you wouldn't just have the conversation we had. Yeah. It was like a specific conversation that could have only happened in this booth, in this studio. And I'm appreciative of that because it was cool getting to know other people and really getting to know their fears and what makes someone scared. And even if it seemed minuscule to yourself, it was a big deal for them. And that's what's the craziest thing.
Courage.
Exactly. Too. Getting some of the people on, I just want to say thank you to every guest who has been a guest on the Share Your Scare podcast because look, it does take courage to come out here. It does take courage to put yourself out there to the whole world to listen to and to really share something that scared you a lot. So kudos to all of you guys. Thank you for making season 1 what it was. And I can't wait to see what's going to happen in season 2.
Definitely.
But do you know what is happening next week?
What's up?
I have a new song dropping next week.
Yes.
And I haven't even told the name of it at all. But I feel like since there'll be only 1 week left by the time this comes out.
Let's drop the name.
Let's drop the name. The name of the song is called Happy in the Hills. And it is a banger. That's all I'm going to say. It's not out. There's no pre-order for it, nothing like that. I see my boy Steve in the back trying to find it. There's nothing out there yet, but it comes out on the 16th. So get ready. It'll be on Spotify, Apple, YouTube. It'll be on everything.
Yeah. And also we have a ton of other places on platforms and stuff that you can find us.
Yes.
We're still posting on YouTube.
Still on YouTube. Look us up. Brennan Taylor channel. Jake doesn't have his own channel yet, but we've been trying to convince him to get one.
I just can't really speak.
You can if you practice. It's not always about winging it. That's another thing we learned about this podcast. You can't just wing it.
I know. That's all we do.
We do wing it a lot, but you
gotta listen to King Vader and we gotta start planning. Yes.
Planning. King Vader came on and told us about planning. And honestly, I've tried to take his notes, but it's hard. Planning things is hard.
I know.
But yes, check us out on YouTube if you want to see some of our videos because we are still going to be going hard on that nonstop. You can check it out. The channel is Brennan Taylor. Features myself, my brother, my mom and my whole family.
That's
you know?
about it, though. There's no
one else. So if you don't like that, then just don't come. But no, check us out on our Instagrams. My Instagram's at Brennan. Jake's is at Jake Taylor.
Yep.
You know, we still have our Share Your Scare pages, and we are going to be posting on those when we come back. So
yeah, and we can still post a lot of TikTok clips. So go check that out too.
Yep. Check out our TikTok Share Your Scare, where we're posting like literally, if you don't want to watch the full video form versions, we post the best parts on our TikTok page. So check it out. We're going to be continuing to do that. So look, I mean, it's been a fun ride.
We will never be sitting at this table again.
Damn.
Actually, maybe if we're a guest on someone else's.
You never know. They do have a lot of podcasts over here, you know. But yeah, we do, like we said, we are going to be coming back. We're just going to be coming back even better. So don't be sad. Be happy that it happened. Wow. That was beautiful.
That was really good.
And lastly, we just want to encourage you guys to keep sharing your scares. This is one of the things that we learned from doing this podcast, was that there's therapy through sharing your scares. There's therapy through talking about things. And one of the things that's never really talked about in this day and age is mental health, and how, you know, a scare or a fear of something can really mess you up for your whole entire life. So it's best to just talk about something. And that's what we learned from doing this podcast and hearing people out and hearing their stories. There's always something to learn from every lesson. And I have a sign in my room that says, every lesson learned is a lesson won. Because if you can learn something from everything, then you're winning in life.
Yeah.
So always share your scares. Thank you guys so much for all the support throughout the past 6 or 7 months, however long this has been going. We will be back. We will be stronger. And I love you guys from the bottom of my heart. Keep your head up. Times get tough, but don't let those times get to you. You let those times get you tough.
Yeah.
I was making that up as we go. Anyways, guys, I love y'all. Thank you so much for listening to the Sus Podcast. And until next time,
see you soon.
It would have sounded better. Anyways, we love you guys. We'll see you soon. Peace. Thank you guys so much for listening to the Sus Podcast. And before, we were called Share Your Scare. But now, let's leave Sus at
see you soon.
Oh, you gonna fucking jump in it? That was my
at the same time.
That was my line. I told him what I was gonna say down the hallway, and he took it.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
I don't want you to say it.
See you soon. 3, 2, 1. See you soon.
All right.
Okay.
All right.